I'm very fortunate. I've got loving people around me. I've had 2 great family doctors. Yes, I'm on a lot of medicine, but it keeps me on a level playing field.
Allan Globensky was an enforcer with the WHA Quebec Nordiques and played for the Montreal Junior Canadiens in the late 60s and 70s. Feared by his opponents, Globensky played hockey in an era when fights mattered just as much as the player's technique and the final score of the game.
They would say, "Oh yeah, you're going to play, don't worry." And I would end up sitting on the bench, only getting out to fight.
Globensky's fists were invaluable to the team, but full of heavy consequences for everybody involved. For every famous athlete whose death is linked to a sustained traumatic brain injury, the former hockey player says, there are so many more in the minor leagues we don't hear about.
You don't know what's going on. You get violent. You lose control. And a lot of times, a lot of players that I know, minor leaguers, have committed suicide.
Globensky has long been an outspoken critic of fighting in hockey. His book, A Little Knock Won't Hurt Ya, My Life as a Hockey Enforcer, details the impact fighting had on his life and health and caught Luigi Buffone's attention.
The more he was talking to the interviewer about the book and his life story, I immediately got captivated.
Buffone knew Globensky's story needed to become a film.
People need to know. They see the enforcer fighting, they see a lot of glory in there, but they don't see the aftermath. They don't see when he's home suffering with physical and mental health.
An athlete who had to fight not only against his opponents with dozens of concussions and permanent damage to his health, but also against the psychological pressure and emotional stress he was daily subjected to.
Not only the players were depending on him, but the adults, the organization was depending on him to fight.
And now his message is clear and is addressed to the young generations and their parents.
It's a game. It's supposed to be fun.
Buffone hopes to get the necessary support to produce Mugged on Center Ice as soon as possible and get Globensky's message out to the world.
We're focusing on making awareness for physical and mental health, because when we asked Allan if there's a message that he would want from the movie, right away, without thinking, he said to make awareness to stop fighting in youth hockey.
This is beyond anything that I figured was going to happen.
You deserve it.
In Montreal, Teresa Romano, City News.
In 1 minute on City.